What if I told you that mastering emotional maturity could unlock healthier relationships, greater success, and deeper happiness? Emotional maturity is a skill that's developed over time, but here's the tricky part. Most of us never take the time to assess where we stand. Think about it. How do you react under stress? Can you delay gratification? Or do you give in to your impulses? Do childhood behaviors still shape the way you handle conflicts in relationships? Today, we're going to explore 4 key areas that will reveal how emotionally mature you really are and, more importantly, how you can improve. If you're ready to test your emotional maturity and take it to the next level, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. Stress test for emotional maturity. Picture this. You're running late for an important meeting, and on the way, you get stuck in traffic. Your heart starts racing, and frustration is building. How do you react? Do you yell at the car in front of you, or do you take a deep breath and focus on what you can control? This is one of the clearest ways to measure emotional maturity, how we react when life doesn't go our way. When stress hits, do you respond impulsively or do you keep your cool? Emotionally mature people don't ignore stress, they manage it. And the key isn't pretending that everything's fine, but learning how to calm your mind in the moment. Something as simple as taking 3 deep breaths can help reset your nervous system and give you the clarity you need to respond thoughtfully, rather than react emotionally. So, think back to a recent stressful situation. How did you handle it? Were you able to pause, breathe, and take control of your response? The next time you find yourself overwhelmed, try this. Take a moment, breathe, and remember that emotional maturity is about responding, not reacting. Emotional maturity in relationships. Now, let's move on to relationships, because if there's one place where emotional maturity is constantly tested, it's here. Whether it's with your partner, your family, or friends, the way we communicate often mirrors patterns from our childhood. Have you ever found yourself avoiding conflict to keep the peace? Or maybe you catch yourself seeking validation, afraid that others will distance themselves if you're not perfect. These are signs that some childhood behaviors might still be running the show. For example, if you grew up in a home where emotions weren't openly discussed, you might avoid difficult conversations now, thinking that staying quiet will keep things smooth. But here's the thing, avoiding conflict doesn't solve anything. In fact, it usually makes things worse by allowing tension to build up. Learning to express your feelings clearly, without blaming others, is a key sign of emotional maturity. It's about standing up for yourself while respecting the other person's point of view. So, the next time you're faced with conflict, try this. Instead of shutting down or becoming defensive, speak up. Let the other person know how you feel, and don't be afraid to show vulnerability. Emotional maturity in relationships means being open, even when it's uncomfortable. Delayed gratification, the cornerstone of emotional maturity. Let's face it, delaying gratification is hard. In a world of instant rewards, resisting the temptation to indulge in short-term pleasure takes serious discipline. But here's the thing, emotionally mature people understand the value of waiting. You might have heard of the famous marshmallow test. Kids were given a choice, 1 marshmallow now, or 2 if they waited. The ones who could wait went on to show better self-control and success later in life. And that same skill, delaying gratification, is just as important for adults. Whether it's avoiding the urge to check your phone during work or resisting an impulse buy, this skill is a cornerstone of emotional maturity. It's about understanding that long-term rewards are often worth much more than short-term pleasure. So, the next time you're tempted to indulge in something right away, pause. Take 10 seconds before making a decision and ask yourself, will this action bring me closer to my long-term goals, or is it just satisfying an immediate craving? The ability to wait, even just for a moment, can make all the difference. Emotional maturity and self-awareness. Finally, let's talk about self-awareness. Emotional maturity starts with knowing yourself, your triggers, your emotional patterns, and how you respond to difficult situations. But here's the truth. Most of us aren't as self-aware as we think we are. Do you really know what causes your anger or frustration? Emotional immaturity often shows up when we react without understanding why we're feeling a certain way. Without self-awareness, it's easy to get stuck in these emotional loops. So, how do you improve your self-awareness? A simple but powerful tool is daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to think about how you handled the day's events. Did you lose your temper? Did you avoid speaking up? The goal isn't to judge yourself, but to notice the patterns. The more aware you become of your emotional habits, the more control you'll have over them. If you want to go a step further, Try writing down your thoughts and reactions in a journal. It's a great way to track your progress and see where you might need to grow. Emotional maturity isn't about being perfect. It's about learning from your mistakes and growing through them. Today, we've explored 4 key ways to test and improve your emotional maturity: how you handle stress, the way you navigate relationships, your ability to delay gratification, and your level of self-awareness. Emotional maturity isn't something you achieve overnight, but by working on these areas, you'll become better equipped to handle life's challenges with calm and confidence. So, how emotionally mature are you? Which area do you feel you need to work on the most? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit from this conversation on emotional maturity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.